Hey guys, it's Nawal. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to navigate the Minnesota HOSA website so you can use this video as a tool when trying to find an event that suits you and when trying to find any amazing opportunities. So the first thing we're going to start with is searching up Minnesota HOSA. Now you'll be greeted with a bunch of different links, but just make sure to click the first one. And to really solidify if you're on the right page, just make sure it says minnesotahosa.org. All the other ones are not the right link. Now you are first brought to the front page, which gives you a brief on what HOSA is and what they bring to the table. Now this is best shown through this little brief and as well as right here. As you scroll down, you are presented with a monthly calendar so you can get updated on all of the Minnesota state events. There are 3 drop downs. Now they should be red. This one is the About HOSA. So it gives you kind of a brief on the people who are working behind the scenes to make these events happen, from the board of directors to the Minnesota State Officer team. Now, the one that I want us to look at today is the chapter resources. Now, there is a lot of great resources, as you can see here, and you can look through all of them, but the most beneficial one is the Choose Your Event one. Now, over here, it gives you a list of many different strengths. Are you creative? Are you good at public speaking? Do you want to practice specific skills? If you say yes, or if you say no, you can find out exactly which event would be best for you. Now, of course, you don't have to do that one, but it really just plays to your strength, and it's a great kind of indicator of what you can do. Now, if you scroll a little bit down, here's the HOSA competitive event summaries. Now, this is a great form, and I'm pretty sure they didn't have it last year, but it kind of gives you, as I said in the title, a summary of exactly every single event that you can do and you can place in. Now it has the minimum and maximum of people that you can have in your group, or even if it is a group event. So that's really great. And it's genuinely a great event. You have recognition events, emergency preparedness events, teamwork events continued, because there's a lot of teamwork events, and the list goes on and on. So I want everybody to really just take a look at this one here and grasp it as long as they can. Now, if you go to the second drop down, we have the Start a Chapter one. Now, this one doesn't really pertain to anybody in our chapter because we already have a blank chapter. But say if you were to move to a different school that didn't have HOSA, this would be genuinely an amazing resource. It just gives you kind of a brief of what you can do and what you should do. Now we have the Minnesota HOSA events. Now this one is really good as well. So let's start with the HOSA dress code. So in HOSA, there are dress codes, and there are dress codes for each event. Now, the dress codes are crucial for HOSA because dressing professionally demonstrates not only respect, but it prepares you for life and life outside of high school through work. And it just genuinely makes you very prepared for a professional setting. So we have the FLC dress code, which is like a white dress shirt or polo shirt and khakis or dress pants. And then we have the midwinter dress code. We have the SLC dress code, and we have the ILC dress code. Now, of course, we'll be talking about this more at our meetings and in person, and just reiterating it again and again so you guys have this in your head. But if you want a list, an itemized list, this is a great resource to go to. And this also just has a little bit more about the dress codes and what event that you do, because in some events you will have to wear like scrubs. But yes, now we'll go to the second drop down in the Minnesota HOSA events, which is the competitive events resources. Now this just gives you, again, an overview of all of the competitive events. Now we saw the summaries page that I showed you from the About HOSA section, but this goes in depth to everything and all of the nitty-gritty of your events, let's say. So For example, if we were doing, should I just do eeny, meeny, miny, moe? Prepared speaking. Okay, so we have the prepared speaking guidelines. Now this comes straight from the HOSA International website. Now this is the guidelines that everybody follows, not just Minnesota. This is just what everybody follows. So especially if you're trying to go to the international conference, you want to make sure you're reading through these guidelines so you know exactly what can take off points. Now, as I said before, we're on the prepared speaking, so they have the dress code for this. So you have to be in proper dress code. For this one, it would just be the ILC dress code. You don't have to wear any scrubs or anything for this one, but it just goes in depth if you press on the link. And then if we go back, yes, so then you have the event summary. Now this is already what we talked about in the About HOSA section, but you have the general rules, you have the eligible divisions. So this is middle school, secondary, and post-secondary. Now secondary stands for high school, post-secondary stands for college. And then we go down, this is the competitive process. So if you're doing prepared speaking, you have a maximum of 5 minutes. You can't go above 5 minutes, you can go below 5 minutes, but if you go above, you will be taken points off. Now this just really, it writes it out for you, so it makes it 10 times easier. Props may not be used. There is no microphones for this event. There's a final scoring. They have the judges' rating sheet, so you know exactly what you're getting rated for. Here's the point level. So if you do an average job, you get 8 points, compared to if you did excellent, you get 15. And then it has all the components that you're scored of. Here's content, organization, organization again, delivery, which they did in bold, so you know it's really important. And yeah, so you would have the total over here of 110 points. So you could really just craft your speech to fit to whatever the excellent section is, and you can make sure that you will be doing and you know your best job and putting your best foot forward. But yeah, so they give you a list, again, teamwork events, and again, how to choose your competitive events, which was in the About HOSA section. Now, here are the useful links. Now, these pertain mainly to advisors, but anyone is welcome to use these as needed. So as you see right here for the advisor chapter, student research sites, so you can just click on these, really just look at them, get a grasp on them. And then here's the volunteer internship education, blue link. Now, this one we are graciously listed a bunch of volunteer opportunities and possible internships that we could be a part of. Some of these need an application to be accepted. So just make sure you know what you need before you decide to be a part of them. And then we are also shown the educational partners who help make all the conferences happen, which endless props to them. They are amazing. Now we are also shown the scholarship opportunities. Now, some of these are exclusively for Minnesota, and some of these are nationwide. Again, just look at the requirements before applying to them. Then we have the employment section. Now, this lists a couple of hospitals who are currently hiring. So if you are interested in working in a hospital and haven't found a job opening yet, this is a great resource. Then there is the registration site. Now this gets you to the login website. If you have been in HOSA before, you would have seen this already, but essentially once you are registered for a competition by Midwinter or state, if you need to upload anything or take any test, it would be all done right here. But don't worry, if you are watching this kind of early on, you will not be given your login until you have been registered for an event. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And then lastly, here we have these two red buttons. Now, the National HOSA red button will bring you to the official International HOSA website, which is a lovely, lovely, lovely website. As you can see, it looks very similar to ours, but notice this one slight change. And then here is the contact us, which is used mainly and probably only for sponsors interested in donating, as you can see here. So if you guys have 10 grand to donate, this would be great. But yeah, I think that was about it. That concludes the in-depth overview of the Minnesota HOSA website. As you could see, it is incredible, not only to use as a tool to find the right event for you, but as an opportunity because there's one for everybody. So yeah, bye guys!